Have you ever looked up at the stars and felt a sense of wonder? Have you ever witnessed an act of kindness so profound it changed your perspective? There are moments in life that defy simple explanation. They point to something more, something bigger than ourselves. We are about to embark on a journey into a collection of such moments. These are stories that have echoed through 2,000 years of history. They are tales of the impossible made possible. They speak of hope in the face of despair and light in the deepest darkness. This is a journey into the life of a man whose actions forever altered the course of human events. His name was Jesus. We will travel back in time to the dusty roads of ancient Galilee. We will walk alongside crowds of people listening to their hopes and their fears. We will see a world much different from our own, yet filled with the same human longings for healing, for purpose, and for connection. In this world, we will meet a teacher, a healer, and a leader unlike any other. He did not command armies or rule from a throne. Instead, his power was shown in quiet acts of compassion. His authority was demonstrated through incredible events that left people breathless and questioning everything they thought they knew about the world and their place within it. This exploration is not just about historical events, it is about the meaning behind them. What do these stories mean for us today? The accounts of these miracles are found in the ancient texts of the Bible, specifically in the book of Matthew. Matthew was a tax collector, a man who meticulously recorded details. He became a follower of Jesus, a direct eyewitness to these extraordinary events. His account is not just a list of wonders, it is a carefully crafted narrative designed to reveal the identity of Jesus. It is an invitation to see the world through a new lens, a lens of faith and possibility. Through Matthew's eyes, we will witness 15 specific miracles that showcase the depth of Jesus' power and the breadth of his love. Each one is a piece of a larger puzzle. From calming a raging sea with a single command to feeding thousands with just a few loaves and fish, these events were more than just magic tricks. They were signs. They were messages. They were profound declarations about the nature of God and his love for humanity, a love that heals, restores, and makes all things new. The book of Matthew is our guide on this incredible journey. It is the first book of the New Testament, and it serves as a bridge between the old prophecies and their fulfillment. Matthew wrote his account for a Jewish audience, people who were waiting for a promised Messiah. He wanted to show them that Jesus was the one they had been waiting for. He carefully selected stories and teachings that would prove this to be true. The miracles, in particular, were powerful evidence. They were not random acts of power, they were direct fulfillments of ancient promises that the Messiah would bring healing and restoration to the world. Imagine being there. Imagine being part of the crowd that day. You have heard stories about this man from Nazareth. Some say he is a prophet. Others say he is a fraud. Then you see it with your own eyes. You see a man who has been blind his entire life suddenly open his eyes and see the sun for the first time. You see a woman, sick for years and shunned by society, reach out and touch his cloak and be made instantly whole. These are the moments Matthew captures for us. He doesn't just tell us what happened, he shows us the impact on the people who were there, their astonishment, their joy, and their dawning belief. Matthew's gospel is a visual journey. It is filled with vivid imagery and dramatic encounters. He wants us to feel the spray of the sea during the storm. He wants us to hear the gasp of the crowd as a lame man gets up and walks. He presents Jesus as a figure of immense authority, yet also one of profound compassion. He has power over nature, over sickness, over spiritual darkness, and even over death itself. But this power is never used for his own gain. It is always used to help others, to relieve suffering, and to bring people back into community. It is a power rooted in love. As we delve into these 15 miracles, we are not just reading ancient history. We are engaging with a story that continues to inspire and challenge people across the globe. These events are the foundation of the Jesus story as told by Matthew. They are the proof behind the claims. They are the moments that cause people to stop, to listen, and to ask the most important question of all: who is this man? Together, we will explore these moments of wonder, seeking to understand not only what happened, but what it means for our own lives here and now in the 21st century. Our journey into the miraculous begins not with a thunderous display, but with a quiet, personal encounter. Jesus has just come down from a mountainside where he delivered his most famous sermon. The air is still charged with the power of his words. A great crowd follows him, buzzing with excitement and questions, but will his actions match his words? A man approaches, his body ravaged by leprosy, a disease that made him an outcast, untouchable and alone.
He kneels before Jesus, his voice filled with a mix of desperation and fragile hope. "Lord," he says, "if you are willing, you can make me clean."
In that culture, to touch a leper was to become ceremonially unclean yourself. It was a risk no one would take. The law demanded separation. Society enforced it with fear and disgust. He dares to believe that Jesus' compassion might be greater than the fear that governed everyone else's lives. Jesus does something shocking, something revolutionary. He reaches out his hand and touches the man. Can you imagine the gasps from the crowd? This simple act broke every rule. It was an act of profound solidarity. He saw not an outcast, but a person deserving of dignity and love. In that touch, Jesus was saying, "You are not unclean to me. You are not alone."
And then he speaks the words the man was desperate to hear. "I am willing. Be clean."
Instantly, the leprosy is gone. The man's skin is restored. His life is given back to him in a single moment. Jesus then tells him to follow the proper religious customs, to show himself to the priest, and offer the required sacrifice. This shows that Jesus was not there to abolish the law, but to fulfill its deeper purpose: love and restoration. This first miracle is about restoring a person's humanity. It is a powerful statement that no one is beyond the reach of God's love. No one is too broken or too isolated to be made whole again. As Jesus enters the town of Capernaum, a new and surprising encounter unfolds. This time, the person seeking his help is not a fellow Jew, but a centurion, a symbol of the occupying military force. Yet this powerful man approaches Jesus not with arrogance, but with profound humility and urgent need. He tells Jesus that his servant is at home, paralyzed and suffering terribly.
Jesus' response is immediate and compassionate. He simply says, "I will go and heal him."
"Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word and my servant will be healed."
The centurion understands authority. He recognizes Jesus' far greater spiritual authority. He believes Jesus does not need to be physically present to heal.
Jesus is openly amazed. He turns to the crowd following him and says, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith."
A stunning rebuke to his own people and a powerful lesson for all of us. Faith is not a matter of heritage. It is a matter of the heart recognizing true authority.
Jesus then speaks the word of healing from a distance. "Go, let it be done just as you believed it would be."
Matthew records that at that very moment, the servant was healed. This miracle shows Jesus' power is limitless, unconstrained by space, and accessible to anyone from any background who approaches him with genuine faith. Leaving the crowds, Jesus now gets into a boat with his disciples to cross the Sea of Galilee. He is a human being, and the demands of his ministry have left him exhausted. As the boat makes its way across the water, he falls into a deep sleep. Without warning, a furious storm descends upon the lake. The Sea of Galilee is known for sudden, violent squalls. The disciples, many of them experienced fishermen, are terrified. They are in a fight for their lives.
"Lord, save us, we're gonna drown!"
"You of little faith, why are you so afraid?"
And with his word, everything changes. The howling wind ceases. The churning sea becomes completely calm. There is a great and sudden peace. The disciples are left in absolute awe. They ask each other, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him." They are beginning to understand. The man sleeping in their boat was not just a great teacher or a healer. He was the Lord of creation itself. He seeks solitude, but the people will not let him go. When Jesus lands and sees the enormous crowd, he had compassion on them. His compassion becomes action. He begins to heal the sick. For hours, Jesus ministers, pouring out power and love without reserve. As evening approaches, a practical problem arises. They suggest sending the crowds away to buy food in the villages.
"They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat."
You can almost feel the disciples' stunned silence. How could they possibly feed this massive crowd? Matthew specifies 5,000 men, not even counting the women and children. Their search yields a meager meal. We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But Jesus is about to teach them that in his hands our not enough is more than enough. He simply says, "Bring them here to me." He takes the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, looks up to heaven, gives thanks, and breaks the bread. What happens next is a quiet, ongoing miracle of multiplication. Every single person eats until they are full. It's not just enough, it's more than enough. After everyone has eaten, Jesus tells them to gather the leftovers. They collect 12 full baskets of broken pieces, a powerful sign of God's overflowing generous provision. Immediately after the miraculous feeding, he goes up on a mountainside by himself to pray. The boat is a considerable distance from land, being battered by the waves because the wind is against it.
During the fourth watch of the night, the disciples see something terrifying. A figure is coming toward them, walking on the water. "It's a ghost!" they cry out.
But then a familiar voice cuts through the wind and their fear. "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid."
It is Peter. "Lord, if it's you," he calls out, "tell me to come to you on the water."
Jesus' reply is simple and direct. "Come."
So Peter does it. He climbs over the side of the boat, and he walks on the water, moving toward Jesus.
Then he takes his eyes off Jesus. He looks at the wind and the waves, and the moment he looks at the storm instead of the storm maker, he begins to sink. In panic, he cries out the most desperate prayer, "Lord, save me!"
Immediately, Jesus reaches out his hand and catches him. "You of little faith," he says gently, "why did you doubt?"
They climb back into the boat together. The wind dies. The other disciples fall to their knees. They worship him. "Truly you are the Son of God." After conquering the storm, Jesus and his disciples arrive in a region known as the country of the Gadarenes. As they step out of the boat, they are immediately confronted. Two men possessed by demons emerge from the tombs where they lived. They were violently insane. The demons controlling the men recognize Jesus instantly. They cry out, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" The demons know they are outmatched. They beg Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs."
"Go!"
The demonic spirits immediately obey. The entire herd rushes down the steep bank, plunges into the lake, and is drowned in the water. The power that had been tormenting the two men is now visibly and dramatically destroyed. He restores them to sanity, to community, and to themselves.
"My daughter has just died, but come and put your hand on her and she will live."
The girl is not dead but asleep. "Talitha cum, little girl, I say to you, get up."
The story continues with breathtaking speed. Two blind men receive their sight. A mute man is made to speak. The crowd is utterly amazed. These 15 moments are windows into the character of God. They reveal a compassion that touches the untouchable, a power that calms the fiercest storms, and a love that conquers even death itself. The miracles of Jesus continue to inspire because they speak to the deepest longings of the human heart. We still long for healing in our brokenness, for provision in our scarcity, for freedom, and for hope. The miracles tell us that we follow a God who is not distant or indifferent, but one who entered into our suffering, who touched it, and who demonstrated his power to overcome it. He is the healer of the sick, the feeder of the hungry, the calmer of the storm, and the conqueror of the grave. He is the Son of God, and his touch still has the power to change everything. The journey of wonder continues today in every heart that dares to look upon him and believe.